CSStutor.pk is Pakistan's first online learning website for CSS students. It is an online academy where aspiring civil service students can create an account and can gain access to videos, notes, news, and more in order to prepare for the CSS exam. This video is for CSS students who are beginners and would like to know more about the CSS exam. We will start off by discussing what exactly is the CSS exam. The CSS exam is a federal exam. It is conducted by the FPSC, or the Federal Public Service Commission. The FPSC conducts the CSS exam once every year. Thousands of students participate and around 200 to 400 students pass every year. The CSS exam is different from provincial exams. Provincial exams are conducted by the different provinces of Pakistan, that is Sindh, Punjab, etc. An example of the provincial exams is that the Sindh Public Service Commission holds the SPSC exam once every 4 years. So what is the purpose of the CSS exam? The purpose of the CSS exam is to weed out participants who are not fit to be CSS officers. CSS officers are bureaucrats, federal government officers, or employees. What government positions do students secure if they clear the CSS exam? Once a student clears, he or she will be appointed to one of the following groups or services and will be given a title of grade 17 in the hierarchy of the federal government. The names of the groups have been listed below. You can go through these yourselves. Now we will discuss the parts of the CSS exam. The CSS exam has 4 parts. The first part is the written part and is the most difficult part of the CSS examination. Once a student clears that, he or she moves on to the next part of the examination, which is the medical examination, then the psychological assessment, and lastly, viva voce, which is the interview bit of the CSS exam. The written part of the CSS exam is worth 1200 marks and consists of compulsory subjects worth 600 marks and optional subjects worth 600 marks. As mentioned earlier, the written part of the CSS exam is the most difficult, as majority of the students fail the exam. In CSS 2016, 9,643 students appeared in the written exam. Out of these, only 202 students passed the written part of the CSS examination. And as the pie chart shows, this means that 98% of the students failed the exam and only 2% passed. Now we will look at the compulsory and optional subjects of the written part of the CSS exam. We will start off by looking at the compulsory subjects. The compulsory subjects are subjects that are given by the FPSC and students don't have the choice but to sit for them. The compulsory subjects are in total worth 600 marks. Each subject is worth 100 marks and the passing mark for each compulsory subject is 40 or above. We have published a separate video which discusses the difficulty of each compulsory subject. The link to this video has been provided below. Now we will move on to discuss the optional subjects. The optional subjects are subjects that students can choose. The passing marks for optional subjects are 33 out of 100 or 66 out of 200 depending on the subject that you choose. Subjects that students choose. Students get to choose their optional subjects from 7 groups. Each group has its own rule for choosing a subject. The rules are listed in the brackets below. Furthermore, students need to keep in mind that there will be 2 papers of 100 marks each of the subject which carry 200 marks. In other subjects of 100 marks, there will be 1 paper. Each paper will be of 3 hours duration. Let's look at group 1. The rule here states that you need to select 1 subject of 200 marks. So if you pick economics, you cannot take another subject from this group, as you can only pick 1. In group 2, the rule is that you need to select 2 subjects worth 100 marks or 1 subject worth 200 marks. For group 3, you need to select 1 subject of 100 marks. So if you pick public administration, you cannot take another subject from this group, as you can only pick 1 subject from this group. For group 4, you need to select 1 subject of 100 marks. So if you pick History of USA, you cannot take another subject from this group, as you can only pick one. For Group 5, you need to select one subject of 100 marks. So if you pick botany, you cannot take another subject from this group, as you can only pick one subject. For Group 6, you need to select one subject of 100 marks. So if you pick philosophy, you cannot take another subject from this group, as you can only pick one subject from this group. For Group 7, you need to select one subject of 100 marks. So if you pick journalism and mass communication, you cannot take another subject from this group, as you can only pick one. When you are choosing your optional subjects, you need to make sure that they are in line with the rules of each group and are in total worth 600 marks. We have also included a link to the syllabus of the CSS exam, where you can find details of the optional subjects for you to choose from. Thank you for watching. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel to receive updates every time we upload a free video. We have premium content for student members on our website, www.csstudio.pk, and our student members get access to online courses, past papers, important news, and more.